Welcome to the Trading Journal, guys, where we take high volatility stocks and make money trading them. Now, if you're new to the channel, we had an amazing month last month where we locked in over $28,000. We took our small account in June when we first started this channel and grew it from about $7,000 to over $35,000 as of today. Now, I was meaning to make a monthly recap video over this weekend, recapping our trades and our strategy for the month of July. Unfortunately, I had a family emergency and I couldn't complete the video. So I'll probably be uploading that video sometime this week or next week. If you're interested in our strategy and how we grew our account, I'm going to show you how anybody can grow a small account with any skill level to about $35,000. We made over 4 times our money and we're gonna break it down in that video. So if you are interested, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll post that video shortly. But today is a new day. Today is August 3rd and we are making our first trade for the month of August. Now, typically for the beginning of the month and typically on Mondays, I don't like to overextend. I like to take a quick scalp, give myself a little bit of breathing room on the week, give myself a nice cushion on the month so we don't start the month off red. And that's exactly what we did today. We traded one stock, PUSA, locked in over $1,000. So let's break down what we saw, entries and exits, and our plan going into the month of August because the market has definitely changed. Okay, so let's break down my PUSA trade. Now, when I typically look at a chart like this, we have to remember that we are forward looking, so we can't see what happens afterwards. We can only evaluate in real time. And the first thing I saw on the day was this massive candle right here, this wick. And when you see a candle like this, you typically don't want to trade it because it made a push from about 320 to about 360 and came all the way back down. This in itself will probably scare off a lot of short sellers and long traders because this massive push and a rejection immediately kind of shows where do you short and where do you buy. Long traders are not going to buy this because this is a very, very ugly candle. Now, if you're a short seller, you can't really short this either. If you short 320, you know there's no liquidity over here. If you look at the chart, this stock has been doing nothing and has been holding roughly at this $3 level, 310, 315 level. So you have to wait, and if you wait, you can see that it makes a push and it breaks this high. So this is on the 1 minute candle. Let me bring up the 5 minute candle. If you look at the 5 minute candle, this chart looks a little better. This candle here, solid red candle, but it's kind of like a doji candle. This is a solid green candle. And this area here is where you want to short. I mean, it's obvious because it's the top, but really what you're looking for here is a break of the high. It breaks the previous high of 371 and immediately flushes down. So if you're going to take a short, I like to take a short in this breakdown area here because my risk is very defined. It's at 375, 380s maybe. You see a top here at 370. It pushes and rejects. And typically with these type of stocks, if momentum and volume does not start pouring into these type of tickers, they won't start ripping. You need to see a certain type of setup, and the volume profile is very, very important here. On this dip here, you can see a massive doji, and you can see it's more or less holding this 315 level. So this 315 to 330 level is roughly where I want to get in. I actually got in at 340, 330, and I got in a tiny bit more at 324. Now, I contemplated shorting this breakdown below 320, and I didn't do it because I actually shorted at 324, and shorting at 324 and shorting again at 320 is going to bring my average down too much to the point where if this breaks 330, I won't be able to hold through the chop. I would actually have to get out at break even, small loss, small green, and I wouldn't be able to hold it because once I add a 324, my risk level changed. We're not risking 370 anymore. We're more or less risking this 350, 340 level. So with that in mind, I don't want to be too aggressive, also because it's the first day of the month. And on this breakdown to 306, I got out half my position. And unfortunately, on the pop, I got out the remaining half. I think I had about 4,500 shares, more or less. Half was around 306, and I got the other half around 313, I believe. And you can see how it faded all the way back down to 260. Now, typically, it's okay to hold this because the stock is not breaking out. There's no volume. If you look at the bottom of the chart, there's no volume down here at all. The volume has died down. You can see these big bars over here. They're completely gone. All you have left are very small bounces, and it's kind of holding, but it's not really holding. And right before the market opened, it drops below 3 for the first time in the day. If you count this candle here, but really, this is the first time it breaks below 3. And when the market does open, it leaves a nasty doji candle at 283. Now these candles typically are not good candles to stare at, but you also have to remember there is no volume here. So this is not long traders buying it up. It's mostly short sellers shorting it and short sellers covering and pushing it back up. It's not a momentum play. These candles are important, but you need to look at the context. And with no volume, this doji does not mean much, and it's not pushing back up either. So you can see it kind of holds this $3 level and it slowly starts to fade. Now, could I have held it? Yes, I would have made a lot more money. But at the same time, it's August, it's the first trading day of the month. I wanted to lock in some profit so I don't have to worry about this tomorrow and the next day. So we locked in $1,000 on this quick trade. I know there's a lot of tickers moving today. I think HYFM as well. Now, this stock here is kind of crazy. I didn't think it would go all the way back to $1, but typically I don't like trading SSR stocks. Right? This push squeezed out a lot of short sellers, this consolidation in the pre-market, and when the market opened, it just faded. I think the borrow fees were really high on this one as well. So these were all halts. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 halts. When a stock has 15 halts, I'm sorry, we can't trade that. It's basically a coin toss. I know it went down, but at 15 halts, you're basically at the mercy of the market. You have no say in the price. You can't get in and you can't get out. So this one was definitely no trade. EZRA was also another one. And this one made a massive push in the pre-market. You can see it had a similar pattern to the other one that I was looking at. So I can show you PUSA. Let me look at the 1 minute. So you can kind of see it has the same type of pattern. Let me just remove all these lines. And this is very important because let me show you what the difference is between these two. On the 1 minute, you see a big massive push and a rejection and 3 green candles pushing all the way up, and then a massive rejection all the way back down to $3 and holds about $3.15 before pushing back all the way up to $3.75 and then finally fading. Right? Now let's look at EZRA, for example. This one looks similar, but there's a very fundamental difference. I'm gonna put the 5 minutes because this is where we saw the chart last time. Push, rejection, and then you see these pushes as well. These solid green candles, little doji here, and it finally rolls over, but it doesn't, and it makes a massive push when the market opens from about 320 all the way to about 460. This stock is SSR. When a stock has SSR, it's very difficult for a short seller to short this and dump this. I don't know the news, but immediately you want to look at the candlesticks. You want to look at the volume bars. All of these volume bars were on roughly more or less equal volume. Okay. When the volume died down, over in this area here, it was holding. It held this $3, $2.90 level, makes a push at 380. Now, when you see SSR, you have to be very, very cautious. You can only short it when the stock is going up. Now, with that said, you can see how choppy this stock is, and I'm willing to wager that this stock has a tremendous amount more volume in the pre-market than PUSA. So this is my scanner. EZRA has 93 million shares today. PUSA had about 3 to 4 million shares in the pre-market. So from this alone, you can see when volume starts pouring into a stock, especially on SSR, it gives short sellers very little reason to continue holding, because what they want to look for is a quick push and a quick fade right below where it started. This one started at about 50 cents. Sorry, this one started about $1.80. So it went up about 200%, almost 200%. And now it's finally fading back to $3. This big red candle here kind of sets the tone, because again, I think it's after 10 o'clock. But so you can kind of see how similar charts acts very differently once volume gets into the ticker. And PUSA and HYFM are perfect examples. So this is my P&L. I made about exactly $1,000 on the dot, and trade aggregate shows entry about $3.32, average exit $3.10. So like I said earlier, about 313 and 306, average 310. Do I wish I held it? Yeah, I kind of do. But that's the FOMO in me talking. We want to make sure that we lock in profits at the beginning of the month to make sure that we have a cushion for the rest of the month. And this stock held $3 all the way until about 10:30 anyway. So, I mean, we're not going to argue over 10 cents really, unless we're really committed to our setup and hold it to about 260s. This was, in my mind, a decent trade. It wasn't my A+ type setup, but it was a decent B type trade, and that's why you have to go in a little bit smaller and be more cautious. So that's all for today, guys. That's my daily recap. We made $1,000. It's good to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.